In today's video, we are going to go over one of my favorite manifestation techniques to fill your bank account with money as you are spending it. This will help you to clear your lack mindset around spending money. This is a quick and easy technique that I picked up just a couple of years ago, and I use it every time I spend money. Neville says, the question is often asked, what should be done between the assumption of the wish fulfilled and its realization? Nothing. It is a delusion that, other than assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you can do anything to aid the realization of your desire. You think that you can do something, you want to do something, but actually you can do nothing. The illusion of the free will to do is but ignorance of the law of assumption upon which all action is based. Everything happens automatically. All that befalls you, all that is done by you, happens. Your assumptions, conscious or unconscious, direct all thought and action to their fulfillment. To understand the law of assumption, to be convinced of its truth, means getting rid of all the illusions about free will to act. Your assumptions, conscious or unconscious, direct all thought and action to their fulfillment. What you assume about money is what you will receive. Okay, let me show you exactly how to turn your lack mindset about money around. This is a very simple trick and works extremely well for me. Every single time you spend money, while you are happily paying at the checkout, you repeat this statement to yourself. For every dollar I spend, I get it back times 10. That's it. I'm going to show you next exactly how this has worked for me and how to actually get this statement to work for you. I have gotten into the habit of only buying things that bring me an immense amount of joy. I love to travel, and every time I visit a new place, I usually come across 1 to 2 items that bring me so much happiness and joy when I look at them. I love bringing these pieces into my home and have vowed to only fill my home with things that I absolutely adore and feel a pull towards. I recently visited my favorite town in California. I usually go stay here for 1 month at least twice a year. Since I'm staying for a month, I'm very conscious to not buy too many things. I treat that place more like I'm home rather than a vacation when I'm there. I shop at the farmers markets, make my own meals, go for walks, and get tons of work done because I am so creative in that environment. There are usually 2 to 3 stores that I love to go browse through. One in particular is a bookstore/crystal store. They have a unique blend of items from books, journals, crystals, candles, and jewelry. I love to spend an hour or more just browsing the store and flipping through different books. On this particular trip, I saw a large crystal that I couldn't keep my eyes off of. I usually pick up 1 to 2 very small crystals if something resonates with me when I'm traveling, but I've never had one as a statement piece in my home. This particular piece was a large pink amethyst crystal with a beautiful druzy right in the middle. I picked it up and put it down. I wandered the store a bit and came back and picked it up again. It was around $200. I could easily afford it, but I had never spent anywhere near that amount of money on a crystal. It was definitely a money block for me. I put the piece down and left the store. The next 3 days, for some reason, I thought about that crystal multiple times. I was working on a new business and was just having a hard time breaking through some creative blocks. I decided to go for a drive and found myself driving towards that store. I wandered through the books for a while and eventually found myself standing in front of the crystal. I picked it up and walked to the cash register. The woman at the register and I chatted about this particular piece and how special it was with that amazing druzy right in the middle. She wrapped it up, and as I put my credit card in the machine, I smiled and said silently, "For every dollar I spend, I get it back times 10. I felt it deep inside of me. I knew that releasing my fear around spending that amount of money would free up some money blocks for me, and that felt really good. I went back to my house I was renting, and since I still had a couple of weeks there, I unwrapped the crystal and put it up on the mantle next to my brand new vision board I had just created on my trip. I sat down and looked at the board and the crystal, letting it all soak in. I looked to my right out the windows that looked out onto the ocean. I started thinking about how far I had come, what an amazing life I had, how crazy it was that I could be sitting here in an oceanfront home watching dolphins swim by while I worked, buying $200 crystals, living this incredible life that 10 years ago I would never have dreamed was possible. I felt into all of the gratitude and looked back up at the crystal, and it hit me. The creative block I had been having for a few days with my new business idea was lifted. I knew exactly how I was going to beat any competition in that market before I even launched. I knew exactly how to set myself apart. I jumped up and ran to my computer. I spent the next 4 hours with ideas flooding me. The pieces were all coming together. I knew exactly how to grow my next business to a 7-figure business. I purchased that crystal in September of 2022. It is December of 2022 as I'm sharing this video, and I am well on my way to my $1 million mark with my business. Here's what you need to learn from this. The feeling is always the most important. When I finally released the fear I had with buying the crystal, I believed without a doubt that the money I spent would come back times 10. I had to get to the point where I believed that when I bought the crystal. I have already done well over 10 times the amount of money I spent on that crystal that day. I have so many more stories like this about overcoming money blocks using this technique. Just remember, you have to feel the statement to have it be your assumption. As soon as you do, money will start coming in, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. I hope you will start adding this small step every time you spend money, and please let me know the success you have with it. Thank you for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Have an amazing day.